Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2026 Antioch University Los Angeles Commencement Ceremony. At this time, we would like to ask you to please take a moment to turn off or silence all cell phones and electronic devices. The ceremony is about to begin. In the interest of safety for the graduates and all guests, please refrain from entering the aisles during the ceremony. Professional photographers will be taking photos of each graduate. We ask that you please remain seated and do not approach the stage during the ceremony. At this time, we ask you to please rise if you're able and remain standing through the processional. Thank you. And microphone out.
I think you're mostly seated, but please be seated. Good afternoon. I am Mark Hauer, Divisional Dean of California Psychology Programs. Welcome, and it's my honor to be Master of Ceremonies today. We're so excited to begin this ceremony, and I'm going to assume you're here for the graduation. If not, well, enjoy. Our campus is located in Ladera Heights, and when we have important events like this, we have a tradition of reading a land acknowledgement to remember our role and our place in a larger story. So I'm going to read that land acknowledgement. Antioch University Los Angeles, Yangar, resides in Tovangar, the traditional and unceded territory of the Tongva people. These lands and the Tongva people continue to carry the stories of this nation and the people's struggles for survival and identity. With this land acknowledgement, we take a step toward learning these stories and identifying ways to join in decolonial and indigenous movements for sovereignty and self-determination. Thank you. And thank you for joining us today to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our graduating students. Now, honored students, congratulations. You've worked so hard for this day, many months, often years. Your hard work and sacrifice, yes, years, thank you for correcting me. Your hard work and sacrifices have allowed you to realize your goals, and I'm delighted to acknowledge your achievements, and soon to welcome you into the community of Antioch alumni. So you're in a transition right now. While we celebrate your individual accomplishments, it's also true that the success of every student rests on the support of others. So I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge those who have helped each of you to succeed. Families and friends, and there are a lot of you here, so thank you for participating with us. Without you, the graduates would likely not have reached this point. Your assistance, support, love, and all the other things you've provided in terms of support have brought us to this point. Thank you for all you've done to make this day possible. We are grateful, and I know you, the students, are as well. Now, faculty, of course, you've been a big part of this learning journey. The faculty have built the curriculum, shared their expertise, encouraged you students to do your best and be your best. And many of our faculty are here today, and I'd like to ask the faculty to stand and be acknowledged. Thank you. I sometimes point out that we don't get to wear these robes that often, so that's why it's so important to acknowledge that. Finally, I want to acknowledge that I want to recognize how important Sandy Lee, the Chief of Operations, is. Her careful planning and coordination makes this happen, and it's not easy, and she makes it seem seamless. And I want to also thank the Commencement Committee. So that would consist of Andrea Richards, Francis Hernandez, and Jenna Roel. So thank you, folks. And for that matter, so many other folks who've been involved this day preparing. And speaking of that, I want to make sure I acknowledge how important this day is for those of us who work at Antioch, the staff, the administrators. For us, this is also a day of celebration because it reminds us why we do this work. It's profoundly important to us and moving, and so thank you for letting us share this day too. And thank you to all the staff who volunteered today. So I've got the I've got the privilege to introduce someone to you folks coming to greet us from Antioch University, but also new to many of us, certainly in this room. I'm talking about, of course, our president, our new president, Lori Verlada, and I'm going to do a little bit of a presentation so you get to know her a little bit better. So please bear with me. Lori, I'm going to take a moment because I think this is really important. This is the first full graduation of Antioch LA since your presidency began. So Dr. Lori Erica Verlada has nearly completed, excuse me. Yeah. See how good I'm doing on this? Thank you. But she hasn't completed it yet, so she's nearly completed her first full year as president of Antioch University. She came to Antioch after serving as the first woman president for both California Lutheran University and Hiram College in Ohio. Of course, before that, she served in other roles, vice presidential and senior university leadership roles at large and small universities, public and private, faith-based and secular, systems affiliated and independent. So she comes to us with a broad range of experience and knowledge. For over 4 decades, she has been drawn to institutions whose missions make her heart sing. This is her statement about it. And of course, that's good for us. Antioch's unwavering commitment to social justice, learner-centered education, experiential learning, and the rigorous yet respectful pursuit of truth is what called her to Antioch and this presidency. Throughout her career, she's believed that leadership requires honesty, especially during periods of uncertainty and change. She has never hesitated to use her presidential voice to present facts and data to leaders near her, and even when the information is difficult, unpopular, or challenges prevailing assumptions. A turnaround leader by both experience and temperament, Dr. Verlada has helped institutions navigate periods of significant transition and financial challenge with clarity, courage, and compassion, and steadfast commitment to the mission. Those same qualities continue to guide her leadership at Antioch University. Dr. Verlada is a nationally respected scholar, practitioner. She writes and speaks on topics including communities of difference, shared governance, educational innovation, and leadership for change. She holds some very impressive credentials: interdisciplinary PhD in educational leadership and feminist philosophy from Miami University, MS in Cultural Foundations of Education and Curriculum from Syracuse University, and a BA in Philosophy from Notre Dame. President Verlada expresses deep gratitude for the educational opportunities those degrees have afforded her. But she quickly points out, however, whenever that is brought up, that life's most endearing lessons did not come from a classroom. They came from her blue-collar family and her hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where she learned the values of hard work, humility, resilience, and standing up for what's right. As a first-generation college student, she has never forgotten where she's come from or how those roots continue to shape the leader she is today. So it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Verlada, president of Antioch University, to the podium and to this ceremony. Thank you.
Greetings. I'm so glad to be with all of you here today. As Mark said, this is my first full Los Angeles commencement as president of Antioch University, and I cannot imagine a better group of graduates with whom to share this occasion. To our graduates, congratulations. This is a day of celebration, reflection, gratitude, and envisioning. First and foremost, this day is about you. It is a time to savor and to fully embrace. It is also a time to share with those who love you, support you, and have taught you, and those who are all of us around you who are cheering you on today. I'm honored to be here with you, cheering along with everybody else. I want to thank you, Mark, for naming the different groups of people in the room and calling out how all of us have played an important role in the journey of our graduates. As parents and guardians in the room know, it takes a village to raise a child. What university educators know is that it takes myriad communities of faculty, staff, advisors, site supervisors, clinic directors, artists in residence, and more to help all of you earn your degree. As the ceremony gets underway, let's take a moment to acknowledge our Master of Ceremonies, Mark Hauer. Woohoo! Mark started at Antioch in the year 2000, which means he spent over 26 years serving our institution. In that time, he's held many roles and has taken on many challenges and important positions across all of our West Coast campuses. I've enjoyed working with Mark during the year that I've been here, and I want to publicly acknowledge his dedicated service to Antioch University for over a quarter of a century. Will you please join me in acknowledging everything that Mark has done for Antioch University? There we go. I've been lucky over this first year of my presidency to get to know many Antiochians across all 5 of our campuses, including this one, of course. I was thrilled to be here in November to help open the new LA campus at 5150 Greenleaf. I returned in December when I got to participate in some of the MFA low residency programs, and I spent a few days here earlier this month at board meetings and the MFA commencement. During my visits to each Antioch campus, faculty, staff, and students have told me, well, actually, they've shown me how and why they believe that their education serves something more important than themselves. Our faculty, students, and graduates expect their Antioch degree to not only improve their lives, they plan to use it positively and productively to enhance the communities where they live, learn, earn, and lead. Our mission challenges us to advance social, racial, economic, and environmental justice, and we do that by recognizing our shared humanity, seeing ourselves in one another, and building communities where every person has the opportunity to thrive. At this moment in time when change is all around us, I believe that Antioch's mission is as, perhaps even more relevant than it was at our founding over 170 years ago. Higher education is changing. Technology is changing. The workplace is changing. The world is changing. Amidst it all, the need for empathy, compassion, wisdom, and human connection has only grown more urgent. And as the president of Antioch University, that makes me optimistic. Why? Because I'm looking at a room full of graduates-to-be who've dedicated themselves to positively shaping the changes and meeting the needs of the world. When I look at you, I see counselors, psychologists, educators, writers, advocates, leaders, and healers. I see people who understand that success is not measured solely by what we accomplish for ourselves, but what we do for others. All of this brings me to the culminating thought of the day. Without question, the most famous words spoken at any Antioch commencement came from our founding president, Horace Mann. In 1856, he challenged Antioch's first graduating class to, quote, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." Those words have endured for generations because they remind us that regardless of where we began, we now have the privilege of an education, and that privilege carries responsibilities. As the 23rd leader of this extraordinary university, I do not believe that privilege requires us to die for humanity, but it certainly requires us to live for it. As you live for humanity, may I humbly suggest that you not measure your life success only by the degrees you've earned, the titles that you earn, the promotions received, the salaries that you achieve, or the accolades that you accumulate. Measure by the people you help, the hope you inspire, the burdens you lighten, the communities you strengthen, and the lives that are improved because you were a part of them. Over the course of my 40 years in higher education, I've been fortunate to witness so many victories for humanities. But the ones that stay with me most are not the grand achievements or the public accomplishments that you read about in the paper. They're the personal ones. A student finding, keeping, and using their voice. A family seeing and being able to navigate the path ahead. A graduate walking across these steps and crossing a stage that they never imagined was in their reach. A life saved because a professor, a counselor, a mentor intervened. These are the victories that give me peace and bring me joy. Graduates, this world needs you. It needs your expertise, your compassion, and your courage. And perhaps more than all, it needs your readiness to meet this moment, your creativity to build connections, your convictions to help mend a world that badly needs it. The degree you earn today will prepare you well for the most important work that lies ahead. Go forward with confidence, determined to win your own victories for humanity. Congratulations, class of 2026. And now, before I leave the podium, it's my honor to recognize another long-serving Antiochian, Mihi Hiyan. Mihi, will you please join me at the podium? Today, Mihi is officially receiving the Faculty Emerita status from the Antioch University Board of Governors. This is a well-deserved capstone to Mihi's 35 years of work and service to her students and her colleagues. Let me tell you a little bit about that work. Mihi's career at Antioch University began in 1990 when she took a job in admissions and institutional advancement right here in Los Angeles. In 1996, she earned her doctoral degree from UCLA, and at that point, she joined the Antioch faculty. Mihi's versatile leadership has spanned numerous vital roles, including the Director of Admissions and Records, University Registrar, core faculty, faculty co-chair of the University Academic Council, and the inaugural dean of the School of Undergraduate Studies. Mihi has been a visionary in adult education, pioneering hybrid teaching models and innovating assessments of credit for prior learning and applied studies. Her scholarly contributions and presentations before national organizations have significantly elevated Antioch's national profile. Mihi retired just recently at the end of 2025, and at that point her name was put forward for this very special award of Emerita status. Mihi's colleagues gave her enthusiastic support and for receiving this faculty award. The Board of Governors found this quote particularly moving. Dr. Hiyan's career embodies a level of service and dedication that far exceeds the standards of expectations of her rank, fulfilling all criteria for the university's highest honor. Please join me in congratulating Faculty Emerita Award to Mihi Hiyan.
Thank you, President Verlata, and congratulations, Dr. Hind. It's been an honor working with you. We've gathered here today to celebrate student success. And first on our list of celebrations involves the Bridge program. One of the most unique parts of AULA is the connection between quality education and values rooted in social justice. Since 1999, the Division of Undergraduate Studies has been living those values through the Bridge program, and in other ways as well, but the Bridge program has been such a shining light. The Bridge program provides free humanities education and experiential learning for adults looking for a bridge to higher education. As we celebrate today, we are reminded of the many lives this program has touched and transformed, and how consistent the program is with Antioch's values and mission. So I'd like to invite co-director of the Bridge program, Dr. Russell E. Thornhill, to the podium, and please applaud and show the appreciation that he and that program deserves. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, graduates, colleagues, and friends. And Dr. Howard, thank you so much for your years of service on behalf of the Bridge program. You helped us to navigate many, many waters over the years, as you know, and we thank you for that support. Before I bring up our speaker, I just want to acknowledge in the 27 years, we've had over 1,000 individuals become a part of the Bridge program. And this year we have students from all around the world, not just from the United States, not just from Southern California, but from Indonesia, refugees from Afghanistan. We've had students in the past from Jamaica, South Africa, Mexico, Cambodia, all a part of this amazing Bridge program experience. As I bring the students forward and the student speaker, so you'll see a number of 4 here, 5 together, but together this year we've had 25 students who have been a part of this amazing experience from around the world, and we are so thank you for that. It is my honor to introduce Jessica Insoon. Jessica came to Bridge last October, and over the past 9 months, Jessica has grown as a student in the Bridge program. She considers herself a lifelong learner. She enjoys cloud watching and reading to understand and connect the world around her. As I bring her forward, I just want you to welcome her to bring her message to all of you. Jessica.
Hello, my name is Jessica Recalitsun, and I would like to thank everyone here for allowing me to speak. I would love to thank my classmates for allowing me to be vulnerable and sharing their work with me. I enjoyed hearing your voices through your writings. You are all very talented, and I have learned so much from you all. I am grateful to all the teachers who reminded me of the joy of learning and the fun in questioning the world around me. Thank you to every staff member of Antioch who has made it possible for me to be here today, and Catherine Pope for holding my hand figuratively when I needed it. Before Bridge, I had not liked school for a very long time. It became a place where I didn't have to remember or learn anything, just pass the class and not get in trouble with any adult. The adults around me looked fed up and burned out. I felt like school was only preparing me to be a worker or a prison pipeline. I did not like learning history through a colonial lens and felt as if all my subjects were limited to white voices. I never felt like I was taught to enjoy learning or that my teachers wanted to change the world around me for the better. After years of on and off again with school, I am so fortunate to have been a part of Bridge. I am so proud to have given it my all. I usually have a reserved and quiet personality, but I fear that my silence in class would sound like disinterest. So I participated more than ever. I was able to learn about things I would have never came across on my own and fell in love with being a student. Bridge is what allowed me to continue my education in my local community college and now transfer to a 4-year. Education can help elevate our minds and our understanding of the unknown, the uncommon, and dismantle our prejudices. We also know that education in this nation has been a tool to harm and silence voices and to push hegemony. I don't expect every student to dismantle the wrongs in this society, but I do expect every one of you to have the desire to interrogate your relationship to colonialism and racism, to be critical of the system, recognize its violence, reject it as normal or necessary, and to imagine enjoyment beyond consumption and comfort. Learn to be curious about the world around you and listen to the voices of the marginalized. We must learn as much as we can in this life. Every person should be encouraged to have the right to pursue higher education. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Jessica. My name is Sandy Lee, and I serve as the Los Angeles Campus Chief Operations Officer. Thank you. I also serve as the chair of the Commencement Committee. It's my pleasure to be reading the names of those students and graduates who are participating in today's ceremony. Bridge students, please rise and follow house ushers to the stage to receive your certificates. You will be greeted by your program co-chairs, Catherine Pope and Russell E. Thornhill. Jessica Raquel Itsun. Nashley Castro. Justin Gillette. Gary Goodwin. Brittany Roberts. Please join me in congratulating the 2026 Bridge students.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Richards, and I am the co-chair of the Undergraduate Studies Department. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's undergraduate commencement speaker, Lala Araki. Born and raised in Juneau, Alaska, Lala's path to Antioch has been anything but conventional. After initially studying theater and music, she stepped away from higher education for a decade, but in that time worked as a holistic practitioner, massage therapist, professional dominatrix, and circus artist, both teaching both teaching and performing aerial dance and flying trapeze. Lala returned to school in 2024 to study psychology and remains committed to cultivating joy, creativity, and compassion in all aspects of life. Please welcome to the stage our undergraduate commencement speaker, Lala Araki.
Whew. Congratulations to this year's graduating class. You've truly earned your education. I also want to thank the faculty for the honor of standing before you all today. Honestly, I was a little stunned when I was asked to give this speech. My first thought was, there must be some mistake. I've been a terrible student. For most of the past year, passing any of my classes at all felt like a miracle. See, the last year, in the span of a few months, I lost 3 people who were very close to my heart. I lost my brother, a child who had been a longtime student of mine, excuse me, and a dear friend. Everything that once felt certain started to crumble beneath my feet. I questioned my life path, my role as a student, and the very beliefs that brought me to Antioch in the first place. Most of all, I regretted the time that I hadn't spent with my loved ones. While my specific story might be unique to me, the underlying tension is not. Nearly every Antiochian student has struggled and wrestled with these questions of how we spend our time, what knowledge is valued, and whether our chosen career fields are even ethical. Perhaps that's what makes Antioch unique. It doesn't ask that we accept the world as it is. It encourages us to challenge the information that we are presented with, examine our place within society, and imagine how it might be otherwise. We are living through a critical point in history, and this line of questioning can feel daunting. Every day brings a new tragedy, a new crisis, a new reminder of how much suffering exists in the world. It's easy to become overwhelmed by despair, to grow numb and apathetic, to believe that these are the end times. So if we're doomed, what's the point? What we need is to reorient ourselves in relation to time. This is not the end. Rather, it is a beginning. We are taught to measure our lives through accomplishments, obsessing over immediate results that prove that our efforts matter. Yet some of the most meaningful achievements of human history didn't occur over months or years, but rather generations. We are here to sow the seeds that may not bear fruit within our lifetimes. But isn't there a sort of beauty in the tending, in the culmination, in the cultivation? The future is brought to life not only by those who see its culmination, but also by those who shape the ideas and carry them through the darkest of nights. Maybe the outcome is not the point. A wise professor once said, "The point is to fight, to ensure that future generations can continue the struggle after we are long gone." This past year has taught me that grief, the grief of our losses, doesn't make us less than we were. They crack us open to an expanded realm of possibility, both beautiful and tragic. So wherever life takes you after today, keep asking difficult questions. Keep challenging what others take for granted. Keep building communities of care, and keep fighting for a world that is more just, more compassionate, and more humane. Not because you are guaranteed to succeed, but because it is worth doing. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Lala. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Tanika Jackson. Thank you. I am the program chair of Antioch University Los Angeles' psychology department. It is, yes, give yourselves a hand. It is my honor to introduce the 2026 commencement speaker for psychology, Sarah Rotea. Growing up, Sarah was deemed the therapist among her friends, often hearing, "You're such a good listener." Her own experience with therapy led her to apply for AULA's MAP program and a career focused on cultivating inclusive and accessible mental health care. Through her traineeship at Antioch Community Therapy Services, Sarah served clients from all over California and looks forward to continuing the mission of inclusion and accessible mental health post-graduation. Sarah celebrates today with her partner, family, and friends, especially the SA 57 Saturday cohort. Please welcome to the stage our psychology department speaker, Sarah Rotella.
Love you too, Joe. Good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege and honor to speak with you here today, and I wish to express my sincerest gratitude to the Commencement Committee, Provost Mark Hauer, Department Chair Dr. Tanika Jackson, and most of all, our beloved faculty and staff at Antioch University Los Angeles MAP program. From the bottom, yes, absolutely. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. My fellow graduates, we did it! Can you believe we are at the end of this incredible journey? Do you remember your first day of class? Your first day of orientation even? I do. It was December 9th, 2023, a cool, crisp, and sunny Saturday. I was feeling excited and nervous, and I had this insatiable curiosity about what this experience was going to be like over the next few years. Would I be able to do this? Were the professors going to be cool? Would I make any friends? Does anyone else relate to that? Inside the library, myself and others listened to key points of what it meant to embark on this adventure. Provost Hauer commended us on choosing to join the helping professional world because our world is hurting right now and needs a lot of help, he said. Dr. Jackson instilled 4 very important numbers for us to memorize as we went through this program. And if any of you remember them, I really invite you to say them with me right now. 8 residency requirements, 8 full-time quarters, 90 units completed, and 24 personal therapy sessions with a California licensed therapist. We remember, Dr. Jackson. We remembered. We were told that by the end of this program, we would be clinicians with social justice links, meaning that this educational experience would have us think about our identity and how it impacts the world, and how the world would impact us, as well as our clients in the therapy room. From every class we've attended, paper we've written, to the very first therapy session we completed as a trainee, this journey has transformed us to be more curious and more thoughtful about ourselves as individuals and what it means to be in relation with another. Hashtag object relations theory. We have deepened our understanding about the systems of our world and the impact it makes on our clients at a personal level. So how do we help? We listen. This educational experience has taught us how to listen. We tune in as best as possible to get a sense of what that other person is thinking and feeling, providing reassurance that they are seen and heard. We are no longer naive students with zero experience. We are competent, emerging therapists ready to take on the next leg of this journey. Graduate school was our training, and now it's time to get out there and run that marathon. Because our world is still hurting, and needs a lot of help. No matter the theory you practice or the intervention you use, one session at a time, we can live out AULA's motto, win one for humanity. My fellow graduates, I wish you the very best in all of your future endeavors. Congratulations on this monumental achievement, and well done, Class 2026.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Hello, everyone. I'm Alistair McCartney, acting co-chair of the Creative Writing Department at Antioch University Los Angeles, and so good to be here with you all in community today. Our program had 45 students graduate this last academic year. Our June graduating class of 20 students came from all over the country to walk in an MFA program commencement just earlier this month, and we have a select bunch of local students here with us today, MFA students, to celebrate with you. I'm pleased to introduce the 2026 Creative Writing Commencement speaker from the MFA program, Diana Dinnerman. Diana Dinnerman is a writer, performer, and humanities scholar. She writes fiction, nonfiction, plays and films with work in the Los Angeles Times, The Sun, the Routledge Encyclopedia of Modernism, and other publications. An invited performer at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, she's been featured in Broadway World, the British Comedy Guide, and the List UK. She's held fellowships at USC, the University of Minnesota, and the New York Public Library for the Performing Arts. Tri-Ballet magazine named her one to watch. Please welcome to the stage our creative writing speaker from the Magnolia cohort, Diana Dinnerman.
In what world can you visit a place you've never been and feel as if you're right there? Discover a feeling you've had your whole life but never had words for until someone else names it. Attached to a person who doesn't really exist. Where else can you be devastated by a death, having seen it coming since chapter 2, having been warned by a stranger on the internet, and because you read the acknowledgments first? The world of literature is a capacious place to live. A writer's work is often invisible, the work of thought, of developing knowledge, of cultivating imagination. Writing seems like a solitary life, but when we write, we are reaching for each other. We read the acknowledgments first because we want to know who else was there. Who helped bring this story into the world? Writing is an empathic practice. When we write, we are saying, I will imagine this for you. I will think through this for you. I will tell the truth about my life so that you don't feel so alone in yours. Through writing, we are cultivating our capacity to respond. A writer's work is a service to the mind and the heart. And the more chaotic the world feels, the more the mind and heart can feel as if they're living separate lives. Literature is where they come together. Years from now, people will want to know what was important to us at this moment. What were we thinking? Where were we looking? Our work is evidence of that concentration. To write, we must encounter the strange, painful, humbling wondrousness of life. We must let the world in, with all its friction and disappointments. If we don't, the psychology graduates will not have any clients. If you are here today, you had to write something, and it challenged you. Why won't the words do what I want them to do? I thought I had a lot to say, but it turned out just to be a paragraph. Why can't I just say what I mean? Writing is not natural. We learn to do it. The desire to share and understand is natural, but the written expression is learned. It's a skill. And in developing that skill, we also develop tolerance for discomfort and change. Writing is the way we struggle into knowledge. To the MFA graduating class, I congratulate you on this brief ending and a lifetime of beginnings and middles. We have chosen a demanding and uncertain path because we are compelled. Commit to being lost inside your questions, your longing for knowledge and escape. Get lost in that book. Be seduced by language. Wrestle with its limitations. Find new language. Become obsessed. Obsession relieves you of distraction. On behalf of the MFA in Creative Writing, we invite you, our fellow Antioch graduates, to share in a responsibility with us. Your imagination is a resource for possibilities, for this world and the next world. Use your power to influence the world with your own story. May we all live up to the values we have developed at Antioch, those of justice, equity, and care. May we have patience for what is unresolved in this world and continue to ask questions. May we use our imaginations to seek the answers. Congratulations, class of 2026.
Thank you, Diana. Let me now provide some direction for the next portion of today's ceremony. Graduates, you'll be asked to stand with your group of degree candidates and approach the stage with your name card. Once your name has been called, please walk across the stage to be congratulated, to receive your diploma, and to have your photos taken. Faculty, please be ready to receive graduates as they exit the stage. We ask all audience members to please remain seated. A professional photographer will take photos of each candidate as they receive their diploma. Guests who wish to take photographs must stay in their seats to do so. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please cross the stage and be recognized? Please rise. You will be greeted by undergraduate co-chairs Andrea Richards and Catherine Pope. Lala Araki. Tiana Shanice Ballard. Bethany Black. Mari Estefany Castañeda. Jacob James Golashevsky. Sarah Gordy. Casey Hisserick. Nellie Johansson. Ben Kleiman. Daniela Ludwig. Vanessa Lujan. Ashley Elizabeth McQueston. Javier Emilio Mesa. Cecil Romarius Montgomery. Joseph Nichols. Vaughn Page. Sage Persing. Tim Schildberger. Bradley Thompson Moreland. Jasmine Wright. Michelle Yetman. Christine Barklow. Judy Bolton. Reverend Gerald Green. Shay Michelle St. John. Veronica Abuyog. Joy Ambo Arnay. Everyone, I want to let you know that there was a little bit of an error in the order in which we called the names just now, and several of our remote graduate students walked just now in the lineup, and I just want to recognize them. Several degree earners just walked who earned Master of Arts in Social Sciences, Master of Arts in Nonprofit Management, Master of Education, Master of Arts in Education, and Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. And thank you, Dr. Thornhill, for stepping in and understanding what went wrong there. Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you. Will the candidates for degrees of Master of Arts in Psychology and Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology please cross the stage and be recognized? You will be greeted by your program chair, Tanika Jackson. Sarah Ashley Rotella. Benjamin Adams. Jack Adams. Eva Babone Al-Sultani. Nick Alford. Salma Amparan. Kate Armstrong. Morgan Elizabeth Audette. Morgan Auerbach. Leslie Barton. Nabiha Basatia. Anthony B. Rosalina Williams. Olivia Maya Aviera. Curtis James Allman. Sarah Elise Andelin. Danielle Anderson. Paulina Bear. Adam Ben-Ezra. Caprina Benson. Samantha Bianca Blake. Dan Booth. Michael Allen Boritz. Victoria Bojoki. Jennifer Marie Brown. Whit Brown. Justice Caldwell. Charlene Cavalier. Elsa Camacho. Sydney Krigler. Mary Karp. Jonathan Carpenter. Mia Ariana Carranza. Melody Carter. Tanya Cervantes. Madison Chow. Alexandra Kyle Cohen. Hi. Josette Alicia Cook. Jennifer Renee Cossey. Ted Cromwell. Luca Elio De Santo. Felix N. Del Prado IV. Segula Dershowitz. Sarah Christine Dickinson. Daniela Lenz DiPolito. Chris Dobbins. Perry Pauline Donch. George Doty IV. Caroline Goodell Drazik. Natalie Eckert. Shane Edelman. Lydia Estrada. Debbie Fan. Sabina Farr. Mallory Fisher. Rich Fox. Sydney Blair. Ethan Furman. Analina Marie Garcia. Liliana Garcia. Corinne Gay. Cody Georges. David Gillich. Kelsey M. Griffith. Ariel Elizabeth Stone King Grissett. Sarah Hanna. Meryl Hathaway. Michael Nelder Henderson III. Pan Mui. Steve Holzer. Sophia Hushmand. Daniel Horn. Shannon Michael Inouye. Maya Irigoyen. Eric Zachary Shore Urshay. Jason Jackson Landau. Ayo Jadasimi. Alexa Jasmer Richter. Elizabeth Johnson. Ann Kalin. Meredith Kendrick. Larissa Kraus. Anat Kreis. Catherine Krogmeyer. Christina Sumi Kunimoto Nakajima. Dana Kurth. Adi Huatek. Abby Kwok. Elizabeth Ann Leisman. Chris Lee. Mick Lee. Sinji Lee. Sophie Lee. Danny Lenore. Brandy Lozano. Catherine Mallon. Mary Kate M.K. Martin. Jocelyn Mason. Adriana Zara McCullough. Isabella McGillivray. Morgan Lily McLaughlin. Kate McKenna. Timothy John McKernan. Alex McKinley. Ashley McManus. Lisa Mears. Erica Metten. Kelly Mickle. Cole Dardick Meyer. Simone Ariel Moskovich. David Munns. Will Neely. Ben Nielsen. Nat O'Brien. Devin O'Neill. Alexis Owens. Carol Ann Larson. Rick Palladino. Stella Pock. Ashley Petrie. Pamela Petrigliano. Anna Pilpre. Lilia Panaghetti. Brian Price. Nicole Rabani. Sage Raval. Shabnam Jaromi. Jill McNamara. Britt Rentschler. Jessica Eve Raplansky. Alexia Reyes. Rebecca Richin. Daniela Rivera. Prague, first of his name, Robert. Delana Sherby June Roth. Gina Rudnick. Peyton Rund. Cristina Salamanca Gutierrez. Alexandra Kayla Sanchez. Natalie Sanfilippo. Ryan Sawyer. Deborah Afrahim Saya. Allie Lynn Secor. Seema Siraj. Harry Sherwood. Maggie Shee. Petra Sylvie Carvunas. Jamie Sarah Slovon. Liza Spector. Pamela St. Jean. Catherine Stanton. Zach Statler. Victoria Stoddard. Amber Stonebreaker. Ivy Strohmeyer. Colette Taheri. Alexis Tavison. Martina Huguet Tromler. Ron Utin Lalkin. Elio Vargas. Nadia Michelle Vasquez. Andrew Christopher Veeder. Anya Versiani Lopes. Sofia Marie Villaseñor. Mackenzie Ellen Walker. Claire Darling Watts. Jacob Weinroth. Mari Weiss. Shona Mae Williams. Ariana Workman. Paige Yamron. Aziz Yeya. Kothar Zabalawi. Please join me in congratulating the 2026 candidates for Antioch University's Sorry, one more time. Those were the candidates of Master of Arts in Psychology and Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology. Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing please cross the stage and be recognized? You will be greeted by your program's acting co-chair, Alistair McCartney. Diana Dinnerman. Glenn S. Jimenez. David Wayne Pedersen. Nushelle Ann Windsor. Please join me in congratulating the 2026 candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing.
And now we begin that part of today's commencement ceremony that you've all been waiting for. Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts please rise? President Varlata, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you for appropriate recognition the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Antioch University Los Angeles, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Antioch University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You may now flip your tassel, and you may now be seated.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Master of Arts in Social Sciences, Master of Arts in Nonprofit Management, Master of Education, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Psychology, and Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology please rise?
Woohoo!
President Varlata. President Varlata, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you for appropriate recognition the candidates for the degrees of Master of Education and Master of Arts.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Antioch University Los Angeles, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Antioch University, I hereby confer upon you the degrees of Master of Arts in Social Sciences, Master of Arts in Nonprofit Management, Master of Education, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Psychology, Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology, and Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling, with all of the rights, honors, responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. You can flip your tassel and then be seated.
Will the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts please rise? President Varlata, on behalf of the faculty, I present to you for appropriate recognition the candidates for the degree of Master of Fine Arts.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty of Antioch University Los Angeles and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of Antioch University, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Masters of Fine Arts with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Graduates, congratulations. You've experienced something profound, moving from right to left to your tassel. Now you feel a difference, don't you? So this ceremony is nearly over, but before we conclude, Antioch has a tradition of providing a charge to all new graduates. So when I say charge, it's an invocation. So first I know you're nervous, aren't you? So first, graduates, I want to welcome you to the Antioch alumni community. Yeah. You are automatically life members. We are honored and strengthened by your addition to our community. And before I go any further, I just want to say the student speakers were just amazing. It's so inspiring, and I'm just so grateful. They so represented the spirit of Antioch, the mission, the values, and really of their classmates and their cohorts. It's an honor to be up here and to hear the words of wisdom from those students. So I'll try and give you a few words of, I hope, at least some wisdom. Graduates, you're part of a long history. And I think some of this story you've heard even today, but there's a part of me that, because of my history major undergraduate, I like to try and put things in some context. So you're part of a long history, and I want to take a moment to share part of our origin story and how it connects to the present. Now, as you know, Antioch College was founded in 1852 in Ohio. And at the time, the country was deeply divided politically and regionally, and had been for decades. Political intimidation and violence were endemic. Cruelty and hate associated with slavery permeated public discourse and action and the lives of so many of us. The Senate was the scene of a violent attack on a prominent senator. Supreme Court's decisions often exacerbated these divisions. If you're not sure what that means, look up Dred Scott. Antioch's founding president, Horace Mann, was a prominent abolitionist, congressman from Massachusetts, and leader of the national movement to establish public education. Mann believed that a democratic society required broad, active engagement of an educated citizenry. This was the context when the college opened in 1852 with a faculty of both male and female professors. And in that first year, Antioch's prep school also enrolled both black and white students together. Mann delivered his final commencement address to the class of 1859 when our nation was on the verge of a terrible civil war. You've heard more than once this invocation, but I'll say it again. At this final address, Mann challenged the students to be ashamed to die before you have won some victory for humanity. Victory for humanity. Mann's invocation and its clarity of intention remains an animating call for Antiochians to this very day. His appeal evokes a grand, perhaps daunting vision, but also suggests something more nuanced, that change often happens when we are connected to our deepest expressions of our shared humanity. I see recognition of this insight in our graduates over the years, and in you, graduates, in the ways you develop the capacity to be fully present, open, and compassionate as therapists. In the ways your writing explores and expands the nature of what it means to be human. And in the way you are curious and embrace a learning journey that is often uncomfortable and difficult, because you recognize it will make you better leaders, therapists, writers, educators, and much more. As Antiochians, we recognize our world is made better through us. We are reminded that it is in the way we live our lives, make big and small decisions, build relationships, and contribute to the success of others that meaningful change becomes real. This is our common cause, then, to make the world better for the common good, to develop ourselves as better citizens and human beings, committed to advancing the human condition. Whatever form that takes for you on your personal and professional journey, I encourage you to persevere. And as we do today, celebrate and find joy in your efforts and successes. Thank you, graduates. Thank you, families. Thank you, friends, for joining us today. And congratulations, graduates of 2026. Now, this is truly the end, so I want to give you some directions on how to leave. So will the members of the audience please stand and remain standing, if you are able, for the recessional march. Wait until the graduates have exited the theater before you begin to exit, please. All participants, guests are invited to partake of some refreshments on Jen's chairs just outside to the right of the theater doors. Thank you for joining us today. Bless you all. Thank you again. Welcome, alumni.